Disclaimer: this program was 100% funny at the time of packaging. Some humor may have settled during shipping.
They broke Elian's bed!
Hi, I'm Michael Moore, and welcome to the final episode of this series of The Awful Truth. Now, we're actually setting a record of sorts here in this election year, because right now we're in the 20th consecutive year of the Ronald Reagan administration. And I got to tell you, that's some feat. I mean, it started out with Reagan in 1980. He served for 8 years, and his vice president, George Bush, was president for 4 years. And then we've had 8 years of this guy here who's done more to carry on the legacy of Ronald Reagan than one could have ever hoped for. I mean, he got rid of benefits for the poor. He increased the military spending at a record level, bombed the crap out of 3 different countries, and well, he made sure the rich got even richer. So I got to say, this man right here, Mr. Bill Clinton, is the best Republican president we've had since Abraham Lincoln. And you know, next week it's the Democratic Convention in Los Angeles, and they're going to anoint Al Gore as his successor. And I thought, geez, you know, what's going to happen to Bill Clinton once he's out of office? I mean, what's the guy going to do for a job? And then I got to thinking, hey, he's the president that gave us 17 million new jobs while he was in office, huh? Yeah. I mean, I know most of them are minimum wage or, you know, low-paying jobs with no benefits or whatever, but hey, a job's a job, right? So tonight on our show, we couldn't think of a better way to close this series than to find our president a brand new job, one of his 17 million new jobs. And that's why throughout the show tonight, I'm sending my friend Ben Hamper across America to get this man the kind of work he deserves when he leaves office next year.
What we basically look for is laborers, truck helpers, warehouse workers.
I'm sort of doing this for a friend of mine, a guy named Bill, and Bill's in reasonably good shape, but he hasn't done any manual labor in his life.
If he wants to work, no, it's not a problem.
We always need cooks. We always need managers. We always need counter people.
What's the pay like? What kind of salary?
It goes anywhere probably from $8 an hour up to $11 an hour.
We start at minimum and work their way up.
What's the minimum?
The minimum now is $5.15 an hour.
Do you have any benefits, like health insurance, dental plan?
We can't provide
stock
that.
options?
We can't provide that.
I have his resume right here. Maybe you could just look it over right now and
sure.
see what you think. He's got a lot of qualifications. Yale Law School graduate and a Rhodes Scholar. Daughter's away at college right now. His wife's doing some volunteer work. Frankly, he's got a few legal problems. Does he seem overqualified?
Yeah, he's accustomed to making a lot more money.
I think he can make ends meet.
Yeah.
That's difficult.
If he's willing to start at the bottom and work his way up, it's not a problem.
What kind of job would you say is a dangerous job in America?
Construction work?
Construction worker?
Lifeguard.
Being an astronaut?
Astronaut? Oh, yeah.
Someone in the military?
Someone in the military? That's a dangerous job.
Right,
yeah.
right.
How about a worker in an abortion clinic?
I think that would be very dangerous nowadays as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you see the military on the other side,
Right.
the right to life side.
Right.
I think they've won the war.
Yes, maybe so.
Yeah, unfortunately so. But you know what happens when you win a war?
Yes.
You get a parade.
Yes. Are we going
Watch
to do a
this.
parade?
The war is over! Abortion virtually unobtainable in USA! Terrorists celebrate! The war over abortion is over! The right to life anti-abortion forces have won! Now, in 86% of the counties across America, a woman cannot exercise her constitutional right to an abortion! Though the Supreme Court ruling known as Roe v. Wade is still officially on the law books, in city after city, abortion clinics, hospitals, and doctors have raised the white flag and closed their doors, saying bye-bye abortion. forever. Yes, it's a resounding victory for the anti-abortion forces, and it comes remarkably during a pro-abortion rights administration. War strategists for years to come will study how such a small army was able to defeat the vast majority of Americans, nearly 70%, who were pro-choice. When the Supreme Court declared abortion legal in 1973, it was a call to mobilization for these brave fetus freedom fighters.
We have a simple position. A fetus is a life. When you take a fetus's life, it's homicide. That's simple.
And for nearly 30 years, they waged a war few thought possible to win.
Stop! We think of it as love for the mother, the baby, and the father, and the family.
Unlike other, less successful terrorist activities like the World Trade Center or Oklahoma City bombings, these savvy fighters were able to elude the police, escape detection, and live to fight another day. And fight they did. Clinic bombings, arson, and murder were the tools of this nimble army. They held fast to their tightly held beliefs, even when the Supreme Court, with its Reagan and Bush appointees in concurrence, continued to uphold Roe versus Wade in every court decision. Adversity just made them fight harder. They formed brigades.
I was there for Roe v. Wade. I was there for the founding of the National Right to Life Committee.
They rallied their troops. They declared that God was on their side.
The most encouraging thing is that we believe we're on God's side.
And after intense debate on what weapons their troops should deploy,
I think there certainly is a difference of opinion about how to solve these problems, whether we're going to do it by killing people, whether we're going to do it with love.
The choice was obvious.
Abortionists are murderers. Murderers should be executed.
Then, in battle after battle, the anti-abortionists used superior firepower to outflank their opponents, who foolishly thought that the law would protect them.
Oh, it's terrorism, and it's very well thought out. And unfortunately, it was very effective.
First came the ground war, where hand-to-hand combat was waged without mercy. Clinics were bombed.
How was that? Hey, Patrol, we just had another explosion down here at the center.
So you don't have a clinic now?
Oh, my clinic is now closed. We were firebombed. Then after we rebuilt, then we were chemically bombed.
Doctors were assassinated.
You got a bulletproof vest on, man. We're gonna come get you.
I think Dr. Slepian was assassinated while standing in his own kitchen. That was a clear reminder to everybody that the anti-abortion movement is a violent fascist movement.
The abortionists that have been murdered, you'd think there were hundreds of thousands of them. I think there might have been, what, 3 or 4, or no more than 5.
Intimidation has a name, and that name is pro-life. Now, 90% of the country's OBGYNs refuse to perform abortions. In many parts of the country, women seeking abortions must now travel hundreds of miles in search of a doctor.
Pro-life is on the move. This is a war to the end, and we are going to win.
Put a fork in it, America. Abortion's done. To formalize the end of hostilities, pro-abortion rights ambassador Michael Moore recently visited the victors' headquarters to offer terms of surrender.
Go and tell your generals to come out. We surrender. We'll sign the terms of surrender. Congratulations on winning the war. You won the abortion war. We lost. I'm pro-choice. You're pro-life. We lost. We surrender. To you.
Oh, if you'll be in jail for 100 years if you surrender to me.
Oh, no, please. We want amnesty. No, you've already won. Let me shake your hand. You obviously were doing the right. Whoops. Is there anybody that we could ask to come out and talk to us outside?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll pass along your request, and if you want to wait outside,
okay.
I'll let them know you're here.
Hail the victors. Hail the victors.
These former foes put aside their differences in the interest of peace.
Sorry, you know.
There's peace.
There is peace.
In
yes.
surrender.
Yes.
And
yes.
I know I'm a married woman, and that in surrender is where I get my greatest experience of love.
There you go. There you go. Thank you very much, sir, for doing this. We surrender to you. We salute you. We present you with a medal. Wear it proudly. In utero veritum, there is truth in our children. Congratulations.
With the treaty signed by a pen of peace, it's time to hail the conquerors. And what better way to celebrate the end of a long and bitter war than with a victory parade down the Canyon of Heroes? Happy spectators, let the ticker tape fly for the brave men who bombed clinics and killed doctors, all in the name of life. Look, there's pro-life hero John Salvi, who shot up an abortion clinic in Massachusetts. Way to go, John! And let's not forget the rubble of abortion clinics, all ready to be recycled into the orphanages of the future.
It's my first parade in New York City.
Canyon of Heroes is what they call this.
That's great. I'll always remember it.
Ho ho! There go those pesky sperm! From now on, when those little buggers get in there, it's right on to the expected mother's float. Yes, these women are pregnant, and they're staying that way.
You know, there's nothing lovelier than a poverty-stricken woman in the full bloom of pregnancy, is there?
No, that's a beautiful sight, yes.
It sure is. Look at her. Huh? All three of them, huh?
We got here very early.
We got here very early. Wow. What do you think of the parade here, huh?
It's a little scary to me.
Yeah. You know, I think the message of this parade is quite clear, right?
Yeah.
If you don't like the law, just blow something up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't sweep up that ticker tape just yet, America! Despite the surrender, pockets of pro-abortion resistance remain, even in the United States Congress.
Terrorism has won out in this country.
Well, when you say it's one out, see, here I just disagree with you.
Because the doctors won't do it. You say we can protect
many
the doctors.
doctors will.
But how many police are we going to
will.
need to protect all the doctors?
As many as it takes.
But don't worry, abortion-free America. As long as there are bombs and guns, there'll always be heroes like these, ready to use them to get their way. And really, isn't that what this country's all about?
Welcome back to The Awful Truth. You know, a good friend of mine once said, you can go your own way. You can go your own way. That's right. So we're sending Bill Clinton on his way. After January, he's going to need a new job, and our correspondent, Ben Hamper, is out on the streets right now trying to find him one among the 17 new million jobs that he said he helped to create.
Well, in Domino's Pizza, the sky's the limit. I've been with Domino's for over 13 years, and I own 4 stores. I started off as a delivery person.
Bill's like 52 years old. Is that too old to get into this field?
You're never too old.
My friend Bill hasn't ridden a bicycle in years, but he has had a lot of sex. So if it's true what they say about, you know, once you've learned to ride a bicycle, you follow me here?
Yeah.
What causes overpopulation?
Too many people having babies. You know, too many people having way too many kids.
You think that's it, huh?
Well, I'm sure there's a lot more to it. That's what I come up with right now.
That's the most scientific explanation you can come up with?
Well, yeah, do the math.
Do the math? I don't have to do the math, sir. All I have to do is send our correspondent, Karen Duffy, down to an obscure county in Virginia to find out what's causing the biggest population growth in America. Watch this.
All right.
People everywhere are beginning to notice a trend. There are people everywhere. Last summer, the Earth's population passed 6 billion, and nowhere has the crunch felt more than in the world's fastest-growing cities: Calcutta, Tokyo, Mexico City, and Sussex County, Virginia. That's right. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the fastest growing community in America last year is located in rural southeast Virginia. I decided to go down there and see for myself what caused Sussex County's population to grow by 23% in a single year. What were they doing down there among the peanut plantations and hog farms? Virginia may be for lovers, but I somehow doubted that the people of Sussex County reversed decades of population decline with a year-long baby-making festival. Maybe people were just moving there. What attracts people to Sussex County?
We're rural, we're basic, we're laid back.
Well, it's a relaxed form of living, that we don't have the pressures of going to work, of the traffic.
And right out here, you catch all the fish you want. Go in there Uncle Joe's garden and get everything you want to eat.
I tell people we're in the middle of nowhere, but we're close to a lot of things.
We're halfway between Suffolk and Petersburg. We're halfway between Maine and Florida. We're halfway between Nova Scotia and Cuba. So I guess in our way we're close by to everybody.
Rural? Rustic? Halfway between nowhere and somewhere else? That's the kind of stuff that attracts drifters and real estate con men. It's not the setting for a population explosion. Just what was going on around here? And where the heck were all these new people? Hey, dude, where is everybody? With this big surge in the population, are you having a hard time keeping groceries on the shelves?
No.
And no? There's not big long lines at the post office winding around,
No.
Not traffic?
Not yet.
No, not yet?
The 2,300 new residents are not free roaming.
We don't know our new neighbors. They're all confined in one location.
Okay.
Most of the people that's making the community grow, I'm afraid, is behind bars.
Behind bars. Sussex County's new residents were part of one of America's fastest growing demographics, prisoners. Crime is down all over the country, but thanks to tough new sentencing laws that put even petty, nonviolent offenders behind bars for decades, the incarceration rate is skyrocketing. There were 2 brand new prisons in Sussex County, and inmates were arriving there by the thousands, and the perks weren't far behind.
They are counted in the census, and the distributions of funds will be in accordance with that population.
The locating of the 2 prisons here in Sussex did afford the county to build a 625,000 gallon per day wastewater treatment facility.
It's all business, it's all commerce. It's jobs and it's income for the county.
Well, they employ 900 people.
Is that the largest employer?
By far.
Sussex County had come up with the perfect recipe for growth. Thousands of new residents, government money, and no hassles with traffic, noise, or pollution.
No loud music.
No rioting.
And it doesn't smell, so they've been good neighbors so far.
Obviously, there's no intercourse between prisoners and people in the county. They're there, we're out here, and never the twain shall meet.
You wouldn't even know that they were here if somebody didn't take you to here.
Has anyone come over to borrow a cup of sugar at all?
Far away.
No, they're too far away? Well, that's good then.
Oh, we love to have them because I love the closeness of friends coming in and out. It's great.
I wanted to meet the genius behind this unprecedented population explosion, Warden John Taylor of Sussex Prison. In a way, the prison industry is revitalizing the rural community.
Well, certainly, with this facility, with the number of employees we have, makes a contribution to the local economy, and it's stable. It's not something that's going to be here, build a facility, and then leave 2 years later when the economy changes.
How do the prisoners feel about being in Sussex County?
Well, I don't know that they care that much about Sussex County because they don't get to enjoy the beauty of it.
I know. Do they know they're in Sussex County? There's not a whole lot of windows.
If you're an inmate and you can get up and see sunshine and grass and trees, I think it affects your behavior a little bit and your attitude about things. So.
They say fences make good neighbors. And it looked like the people of Sussex County had the best new neighbors ever. So I appointed myself Goodwill Ambassador and brought them some gifts from the Welcome Paddy Wagon. I made sure to bring some things they could really use.
Well, of course, we have some mail material.
Yeah, we don't allow those inside.
Oh, you don't allow them? Okay, well, I'll take this one out, and I'll take it. Oh, but we do have guns and weapons. Maybe.
Yeah, we wouldn't allow that in there either.
We have an escape route.
We won't let that go in either.
Okay, you won't let that one. So we baked you a cake?
I'll have to search it before it can go inside.
Maybe you could give it to, like, the ones who are the good prisoners?
Well, we usually take the approach of if we can't give it to everybody, we don't give it to anybody. So
Okay.
if you want to present that...
What a touching sentiment. Well, they may be a difficult bunch to buy gifts for, but Sussex County's newest residents are part of a nationwide migration. Our tough-on-crime lawmakers are building beautiful new jails all over rural America. And cash-poor little towns are more than happy to welcome the shackled new folks next door. As more and more communities follow Sussex County's lead, and as more and more non-violent offenders are put behind bars for life, it won't be long before every 10-year-old shoplifter and 16-year-old loiterer will be doing hard time in a beautiful rustic setting. And populations will continue to boom in our small towns. The average American usually lives in one place for 7 years, but here in Sussex County, the new residents are staying for an average of 40 years to life. And if the prison population continues to rise as quickly as it has under the Clinton administration, when they take the census in the year 2130, every person in the U.S. will either be in jail or working in a jail. Now that's neighborhood living.
We try to get donors who have very high count and intelligent, college-educated.
The person I'm thinking of, a friend of mine named Bill, is quite educated.
If he's a professional person, he's someone that we can rely on. It is a demanding job to be a sperm donor. We do ask him at least to abstain from sexual intercourse and masturbation for 2 or 3 days.
This might pose a problem for my friend Bill.
An excellent background. He's
regional director here in Arcus.
And I mean, so he's a lawyer.
Professor of law.
Yeah.
He plays saxophone.
Yeah, that's what recipients like to hear about. Cigars, sometimes recipients mark that off as being, no, I don't want a smoker.
Right.
You'd be surprised.
Well, I don't think he inhales.
Yeah, okay, well.
Well, that's our show for tonight, and actually this is the end of our second season here on The Awful Truth. We hope you enjoyed it. We really had a great time this year, and we still got the election coming up. I know, not much of a choice on the ballot. You know, I'm sorry we didn't do more about that. Maybe next time, but you know, hey, there's always Ralph Nader, right, huh? So listen, actually, you know, we might be back for a third season if we get lucky. With your support to the network, you know, it might happen. In the meantime, actually, I want to close by showing you what I see when I look this way every week here in Times Square. Can I have the camera, Brian? Thank you. This is what I see. And there's Brian, our cameraman, Francisco, our sound man. And we got, what we got over there? Oh, there's Ann and Nick and Dan, and I see Rhea and Mala. Dave over there. Dave, Siobhan, how you doing? There's Chris over there. And this is the Times Square Baroque Orchestra, which is playing here also every week for me. I'm the only one actually that can, you know, hear the music. And, well, I'm going to give you the camera back, Brian, so we can say goodnight. And, well, see you next year, right here on The Awful Truth. Good night, everybody.